Hello and welcome back to our Warrior Priest playthrough, and we're going to be fighting a couple of Beastmen in the first part of this episode, and I am actually not entirely sure how I'm going to do against these guys. I have literally had zero experience fighting against Beastmen with this character. Obviously with the Necromancer we actually started to fight Beastmen a little bit later on. I was very... it depends what you really consider lucky or unlucky in that case, because many of the times I was not really lucky enough to get into a situation where I'd actually be able to encounter Beastmen, amusingly enough. So, yeah, towards the end of the series, that's when we started fighting them, and we actually found that they were pretty damaging. Hilariously enough, yeah, I'm finding them to be pretty damaging as it is right now, and you can see here, look at that amazing AoE healing spell from our Warrior Priest friend right there. He is doing so much work just purely from chucking that AoE heal out. And that is actually something that I want to do as well. So I'm actually thinking maybe we should play a slightly more support-focused Warrior Priest. And I mean, that's the point. We do have the ability to heal, and I think we should probably not waste it, because if we actually end up getting enough money, and at this point it is looking pretty dismal about that, but let's just say that we do get enough money to be able to afford some of the higher tier spells. Well, in that case, maybe we want to focus on, you know, buffing our own forces and making them as strong and as resilient as we can possibly make them. Because just imagine this: we go into a fight and we're outnumbered. Let's say we're outnumbered, and but we have some pretty high tier, decent, you know, mid to high tier units, and we're fighting in the middle. We're fighting in the middle of the battlefield. The enemy is just crashing wave upon wave of enemy forces upon our units, and what do? We slap down on the ground one of those amazing, really nice AoE healing spells, and then no one dies for that exact amount of time. Obviously, it's only gonna last a couple of seconds, you know, 5 seconds or something like that, I think the duration is. But for that time, everyone's good. No one's gonna die. Everyone's gonna survive and continue dealing damage, and the enemy is just going to be falling before us like no one's business. And that is exactly the reason why I'm thinking, hey, maybe we want to indeed do that. Maybe we do want to concentrate on being a little bit more of a support-focused build. But obviously, this is very much a case of my own preliminary thoughts at the moment. I'm not really sure about it just yet, because you could see here we've learned this. I'm obviously going to need to... okay, yes. I'm obviously going to need to earn a little bit of extra cash to be able to afford these things, but just look at this. Launch a small number of stones at the enemy, Monty Python style. Yeah, that's actually very amusing. But yeah, Healing Light, for example, that is an adept level spell, so I'm obviously going to need to do something about that. What's this? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about, you see, because apart from Pillar of Radiance and Radiant Gaze, everything else has to, well, apart from Deathly Shards as well. So Healing Light and Far's Protection, both of these seem like something I would love to get if we are focusing on more support-based stuff. At least, in my opinion, I think focusing on something that is a bit more support right now is going to be very good for us in the long run, because it's going to mean that our forces are going to be able to stay alive. They're going to be able to level up, gain experience, and become even more powerful. And then in that time, we are also going to be winning battles. We're going to be winning battles so much more often because my forces are going to be able to stay alive just that much more. At least that is my thinking on it. Maybe it's incorrect, but I think that might actually work out quite well. Anyway, let me just take a quick look. Is there anything else here that I really want to get? I mean, buff a target ally's weapon to do additional magic damage. That could be really useful, but I don't know whether I really want to do that right now. Any of these, I think all of these are absolutely fine, But personally, I would prefer to spend 5,000 gold, or at least to save up the 5,000 to be able to spend it on something a bit more. And I'm probably going to be getting Assault of Stone rather than Shem's Burning Gaze, because a single bolt of cleansing energy flies from the caster's hands, searing evil wherever it strikes. In comparison to a small number of stones, I kind of want the sort of like a more bombardment style thing instead of something that is just one singular projectile, but I have obviously no idea what's actually going on there, so we're going to have to see. And I am going to, don't worry, I am actually going to be getting some gear, some better gear as well. But I've just been attempting to try and fight as many people as I can get my hands on at this point as well, because we need to make as much money as possible. This is actually a really, really good task for us to take for that purpose as well, because I've basically just been auto-resolving. I've just been auto-resolving most of the time in my off-screen progression, because it makes no difference whatsoever for me specifically. I mean, I did go in to a battle just now, and you could see how easy that was. I didn't really have to do too much in that regard. I could pretty much just, you know, lie back and allow my forces to do as much as they wanted to do, and they could just murder all the enemies with very minimal effort expended. But this is what's really great about just taking one of these quests. I can pretty much just stand here by the village, and then enemies are going to come to me. And, well, hilariously enough, I say that, and now none of them are anywhere to be seen. Yes, that always happens to me, doesn't it? Yes, indeed, it does. Okay, so, yeah, we're going to continue leveling up our forces here. Bear in mind that I will be leveling some more archers, but as I said before, generally, I want to try and make it so that my forces are very much focused, at the moment at least. They're going to be very much focused on melee and cavalry. Usually that is what I will do in the early stages of any playthrough, because it just generally makes more sense to have units, at least for me, at least in my opinion, obviously, it makes more sense to have units that are hardier, more difficult to kill. And that's not saying that, you know, if you do decide to go for an archer-based army or anything like that, I'm not saying that that is unviable or anything. It's just my personal preference in that regard, because dealing with an entire melee-focused party is a lot easier than having to deal with archers and stuff like that. But there you go, we were able to achieve victory very easily, and now we have 10,000 gold. Look at that. Look at how quick that was. That was really, really fast, right? Yeah, super, super nice to see that. And now, who are we at war against? Let me actually see. Yes, okay, so the vampire counts we are at war against. So what better idea for us than to go into vampire count territory and see what we can do, because that is obviously going to provide us with a significant amount of renown. We do need a lot of renown to be able to get to... Oh, actually, never mind. We're really close to the next clan tier. Okay, I might... Okay, I was actually thinking that I would go and try and fight one of these guys, but now I'm thinking, well, maybe I need to advance my clan tier before I do that, because that is going to give me some much needed additional space in my army. And obviously having additional space in your army is well, basically the whole thing, the whole reason why you're able to win these larger scale battles, because you have more units in your army, of course. Anyway, how many do I have now? I have exactly 10 to go. So shall we stake everything on this tournament? Shall we literally go into a tournament, no nobles, and the reward is a helmet. I really need a helmet, by the way. So this is actually going to be something that I think we might be able to achieve. He says as he looks and sees a Demigryph Knight and various other very strong units. Okay, well, let's try it out. I have a polearm. Yes. Alright, there's actually a firearms user on the... Oh, this guy is... Oh, wow, this guy could kill me very, very easily. Oh, thank you. Okay, whew. That was a bit close. A bit too close for my liking. Can I actually get some... Oh, phew. Ooh, that grinds my gears. That grinds my gears super hard. Anyway... Yeah, could you tell what I was trying to do there? Yeah, I was literally just trying to get a hit. Just any hit on the opponent would have been nice, because that would have enabled me to get a little bit of polearm proficiency, maybe a little bit of damage incoming, Wow, really? Okay, yeah, okay. You know, all I can really hope is that they're not going to give me a pop. How is Mefrid so incredibly powerful, sir? What are you doing? Why are you so strong? I have no idea why he's so strong, but okay. Yeah, now we're up against him. This is not gonna go well. What do you bet my guy dies? What? Okay. Okay, here we go, here we go. I was thinking to myself, my companion was gonna die instantly. My teammate, should I say. And then, all of a sudden, he murders the guy in one hit. He murders the opponent in one hit, and then gets murdered himself by Mefrid, which is even more hilarious. But there you go. Okay. We are now up against a beatable opponent. I know. Wow. Quite incredible, isn't it? Anyway, Empire Veteran Swordsman, you are my opponent. Let us do this. You are going to be very simple for us to defeat. Yes, indeed. Look at that. That was so incredibly easy. You know, it's one of those times where you think to yourself, I wish every tournament was like that. But then, on the other hand, you think, you know what? Actually, I'd like it to be a bit closer. You know, yeah, you kind of want those exciting moments to occur a little bit more often, but there you go. We were able to get to the next clan tier, which is fantastic. We also have a better helmet, and that is exactly what I'm going to be. Wow, this is actually not that much better than what I thought. I mean, to be fair, this is holy damage. I don't think anything that I can get actually does holy damage. If I go into the Magister right here, I could just take a quick look and actually see what's going on with it. So, for example, if we go to light magic here, Bolt of Cleansing Energies. I mean, I don't know what that means. What does Bolt of Cleansing Energy do? I mean, what kind of damage does it do? That's the thing. I mean, I assume it does light damage, right? I mean, it is the law of light after all. I can't buy any scrolls. The scrolls are way too expensive for us at the moment. Okay. So let me just very quickly go in here because I would like to equip some stuff. So let me just go ahead and there we go. We look a lot more like a warrior priest in civilian garb now, don't we? I think that seems quite suitable. Nice. Okay. And now what we'd like to do is maybe purchase a helmet, an actual good helmet, not one that is going to completely just let us down in every single possible way. So let me see what I can get here. Wow, some of these are actually really bad. Okay. What do these things do? Lightning damage, Celestial Wizard, Bright Wizard, that is fire damage. Okay, so where is a good helmet? Well, this is a good helmet, but it's 33,000. I'll never be able to afford that. Light Wizard Shoulders, we know that is magical damage and amplification. Good to know. Wow, so it seems to me like I will have to purchase that, well, not purchase, but I will have to wear that helmet that we currently have. Seems like I will have to wear that. Kind of weird. But, okay. Yeah, alright, so we'll just sell all of that, and that's another 4,000 for us. That's pretty nice. And we can also sell this. There we go. That's 5,000. Great. Okay, so we now have 22,000, which is actually pretty significant. So that means that maybe I should spend 10,000 of that on a spell. What do you say? I think that's probably a fun idea. So let me see. What do I want to go for? Someone did mention that Shem's Burning Gaze is a very sort of lore accurate thing for a warrior priest to take. Apparently, I think you play the tabletop version of Warhammer Fantasy. I think that person does. So I very much appreciate that input. So I'm thinking maybe we should take this. I was kind of thinking maybe this because it's fun, but I'm not sure which one's going to be more effective. I guess I'll just take this one and we'll see. I mean, I can always buy both, right? It's not really restricting me in any way, shape, or form, so it should be fine. Anyway, yeah, let's try it out and see what happens. Okay, so do I have any level ups to do before we... Yes, I do. Okay, so let's actually spec into some more medicine because I would like to prevent us from dying that much easier. Or shall we say, prevent our forces from dying that much easier. And I'm going to go for 7 veterans. I don't really care about that one so much. Okay, so Before we go anywhere, let me just recruit some people. I have 86 maximum company. No. No, Johan. Thank you. Leave me alone, sir. Yes, that guy has 1,600 troops in his army. What an absolute menace. Although, to be fair, we do, as one of you actually rightfully told me, I do have to think about the fact that many of the vampire counts are going to have a lot of skeletons in their armies. And as a result, we really can't take their numbers into account as dramatically as maybe an empire army might be, because if you think about empire forces, most of their units are pretty good, you know, most of them are pretty good. Not too bad, you know, they're pretty solid, right? Whereas the vampires, on the other hand, obviously the vampires themselves are very, very strong, but the skeletons, well, they're not. So it's a lot easier to deal with them, that's for sure. Anyway, it seems like all of these villages are completely picked clean. I am very frustrated by this at the moment. I would very much prefer to get some people recruited. Wow, we are getting so unlucky right here. Super, super unlucky. What's this? Manual laborers. Do I have any? I do have 33 prisoners. Oh. Do you have 30? I bet he wants 34. What do you bet? What do you bet? This guy wants 34 prisoners. I can almost wholeheartedly assume he's going to want 34 prisoners. What do you bet? No, he wants 15. Okay. Whew. Usually, you know, that's the funny thing. Usually in these kinds of situations, yeah, there we go. We brought him a few men. Okay, yeah. So usually in these kinds of situations, whenever I've done this in the past, the person always asks me for one more prisoner than what I have, but thankfully not in this case. Okay, there we go. That's going to give me 1,800. Pretty nice, considering we could have sold those for 400 or something like that to a regular ransom broker, so I'm pretty happy with what we were able to get there. And there's another person from a cult there that I might like to take out. It's going to get us some... yeah, unfortunately, this guy actually joined in, so I'm just going to go for an auto-resolve instead. Definitely not something that I would like to do all the time. I'd love to go in there and actually do a manual fight so that we can try out our new spell, of course. But as it stands, yeah, some of the time we're just not able to get the opportunity to do so because that other fellow was right there, kind of interfering in things a little bit. Okay, so without further ado, I think I will be following Mr. Balthazar into battle. Oh, these guys actually gave up. Well, that's a bit... Okay, I guess it's not bad because I can actually go back to that village now and I can tell them, I can say to them, hey, I got some more prisoners for you, you know? That might be pretty useful. There's actually another tournament going on at Midlandborg as well, so it might actually make sense for me to go in and fight that, but I don't really want to saturate this episode with tournaments. Okay. He needs 15. Okay. I think we have 15, don't we? Yep, 22 in actual fact. Great. There we are. There's another 1,500. Amazing. Yes, we're getting really, really lucky with the timing of our tasks here and what they need and the... Well, the prisoners that I currently have as well. That's actually super nice. Anyway, let me see what I can do here. I would like to follow him into battle if at all possible, because you never know when there's going to be another large army that may appear, and then we could do something. But on the other hand, well, I'm thinking maybe we just want to be running around ourselves, maybe taking on some enemy caravans or something like that, because I've seen a bunch of caravans running around with about 100 units in there. And I'm thinking, well, 100 units, that's pretty significant, but I can assume that a lot of them are going to be skeletons. So it might very well just be free experience and free money as well. So might make sense for me to do that. I'm just going to try to continue recruiting people for the moment. I'm really kind of worried about the fact that we're going into a battle, or going into a relatively significant battle quite soon, and we're going to be heading in with quite literally tier 1 units, which is a bit, maybe a bit too much, but I suppose we'll see. Alright, so what have I spied here? It appears as though I have spied someone that we could potentially deal some damage to and maybe even achieve victory. Now, this is very much a case of, well, I really have no idea. I'm going to go in for it, just purely for the fact that I would like to try. And if we end up failing, then we end up failing. But I am going to try nevertheless. Okay, so she is actually running away from us right now. Which is really... We have very even... Okay, yeah. We have very even combat strength. I would not have expected her to run away from us, considering she does have the numbers advantage, but obviously she is always, I mean, every single one of these vassals is going to have the numbers advantage most of the time, because they do have so many skeletons, and so on. Oh, we're fighting in one of the valleys. I'm not a big fan of this, gotta say. Not a big fan of fighting in the valleys here, but we'll try our best, Okay, so, I don't even know what to do, to be honest. I guess I will try out my new spell. Oh, yeah, this is a missile one, isn't it? Okay, so it being a missile is a little bit tricky for me. I've not really used missile spells that often. I did have magic missile with the necromancer, but I used it once and then the game crashed. I don't know whether that was a coincidence, but I have a bad connotation with it now. So missile things, yeah, not a big fan, but we'll see. Maybe it's gonna be okay, right? Maybe it's gonna be okay. So let me just continue to move my forces into a decent-ish position, and I've got to remember that the enemy doesn't necessarily have the most amazing ranged units. Ah. Okay, I see how that works now. Right. Okay, it's very, very good that I tried that out before it was actually anything, you know, in other words, it's good that I didn't lose anything as a result of my actions. Okay, so they're casting spells on us, which is not good, obviously. So I'm just going to tell my forces to charge. Why not? Boom. Okay, I hit... Did I literally just hit one unit? Did I literally just hit one unit? That was it? Really? Okay, well, I'm going to get off my mount, because I can't fight on my mount, of course. Alright, so we're practicing spellcasting. Apparently we have done a little bit of it, which is actually quite nice. And I'm going to use Shem's Burning Gaze on the... oh, I actually killed a bunch. I killed a bunch of skeletons. Fantastic. I was actually thinking to myself, wait a minute, I killed my own skeletons. Yeah, not used to it. Not used to being on the opposing side at the moment. Yeah, that's going to take a bit of getting used to, because usually I'm thinking to myself, oh, I killed some of my skeletons? Ah, great. Because, you know, that happens to me quite often. Let us not speak of it. But, yes, that kind of thing is a common occurrence. And, yeah, we were able to achieve victory very, very easily. Although we did end up losing, only 10 Empire recruits. That was basically the majority of the units that we've lost. And bear in mind that the remaining survivors are going to be gaining a significant amount of experience from this. So, this is actually... very good. Look at this. Look at the amount of renown and influence we're getting too. So we are going to be getting a decent amount of cash from our mercenary wages, of course. I am going to be taking her prisoner because there's, as far as I'm aware at least, there's really no chance that the opponent will want to join us. I don't think the persuasion mechanics work in the same way in this mod. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, I think that is indeed the case. I'm going to be taking these Beastmen because I'm probably going to go and donate them or something like that to a garrison somewhere, maybe. I'm not entirely sure what I'll do with them just yet, but it's kind of nice that we have them to, shall we say, dissuade any people that may want to murder us on our way out of the territory, potentially. So, anyway, let's just take all the loot. Don't think I'm going to be using any of the items that we gained there. And yeah, now we just have to be on the lookout, because I could theoretically do battle with another vassal. I do have the ability to do that. Ah, this guy actually wants to fight. He has 4 Blood Knights and 4 Drakenhof Castellans. They're going to be... They're going to be a bit... I'm not sure, actually. Yeah, no, I think they're going to be a bit too harsh, aren't they? Aren't they going to be a bit too harsh? If he catches up, then I'll do battle with him, but if he doesn't... Oh, wow, he is actually catching... Wow, he actually did catch us. Okay. Right. You know, I gotta say, I'm a bit worried, you know? I'm a bit worried about this, to be honest. Okay, let me go for some more riding skill, I guess. Maybe some more athletics? Actually, more athletics would probably be quite useful for us. And I want to go for another point in intelligence as well, just so that we can continue to increase our magic power. Obviously, you know, the amount that we can gain in engineering and medicine, all that wonderful stuff. Also, steward is definitely going to be something that I would like to spec a couple of focus points into, just to make sure that we have a little bit higher growth rate in terms of our party size. Yes, not potty size, but party size, indeed. Anyway, let me see what I can do here. Maybe I can actually... Yeah, I personally don't think I'm gonna really get any kills with my spell at the moment. I think it is... I just generally don't have a huge amount of damage amplification or anything like that. So, of course, you know, me using one spell that doesn't have any kind of AoE quality. I mean, it does have a bit of AoE to it, a little bit of AoE splash damage, but it is not something that stays on the ground and continues to deal damage or anything like that. So, for example... Yes. So, yeah, never mind. I was thinking to myself, yeah, let me just charge up my spell. No, it's an instant cast. Yeah. That, yeah, that went well, didn't it? Yes, that went very well. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's actually not even bad, to be honest. It's not even bad for me to try out my spells like that, because it does get me used to using them, obviously. So even if it doesn't go particularly well, at least I've tried it, you know? Like, for example, right there, look at that. We actually hit a bunch of enemies. Unfortunately, it obviously didn't really do much, because the enemy has, well, a lot of HP, and we don't really do that much damage, so it kind of makes sense, right? Anyway, let me see if I can get a couple of kills with my crossbow here. Bear in mind, I will be replacing my crossbow with a gun at the earliest possible convenience. And then we're going to see how that goes. I can see the friendly fire now, can't you? Yes. I'm very good at that. Okay, can I... Oh. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to get off my mount right here. Going to do some damage with my hammer. Oh, no. Okay, you know what? I shouldn't have done this. This was a mistake and a half. Yeah, that was a mistake and a half. But it's fine. It's fine, because we are now going to be gaining a good amount of medicine as well as tactic skill. Yeah, that's the reason why I did it. Yes, indeed. That is absolutely the reason. Not any other reason at all. But, to be fair, we are actually achieving victory, amazingly enough. I am very surprised about that. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be, but this guy obviously felt like he could tackle us. And, well, you can see exactly what happened to him. He really just bit off more than he could chew, I suppose. Maybe that was it. I really have no idea, but... Anyway, these guys actually can level up. What do we want them? Ungor Chiefs, I guess. I don't even know why I'm using these, to be honest. But as I said, I was going to donate them to a garrison nearby. So I was actually hoping that we might be able to do that. But obviously, as it stands, we don't really have anywhere nearby just yet. But hopefully, we will be able to soon enough. What does this go into? Okay, yeah, that's just a bandit. Okay, we're just going to leave that the way it is. Ooh, hello there. Cracked Blood Knight gauntlets as well as pauldrons. Might be fun, but we are then going to look a bit too much like a vampire unit. The gloves are better. I'm not gonna wear it. I'm not gonna wear it. It is better, but I'm not gonna wear it just because, you know, on principle, I'm just not going to. And we are going to be making a lot of money in the next few days, which is real nice. Because obviously my mercenary contract is giving me a significant boost, and I'm just gonna sell all my prisoners as well. I don't really care too much about selling the vassals back to the enemy faction, because in the end it just means more money for me. If I can meet them again and then fight them and then take them prisoner once more, then obviously it's just a rinse and repeat kind of thing where we're going to be able to consistently ransom them and so on and so forth. At least that is the thinking behind it. Whether that actually comes to fruition or not, that is a whole other matter entirely. But yeah, we're just going to be selling all of this, selling all the weapons as well. I know some people have said to me that I should do smithing and I should smith a new hammer, but generally I don't think they actually give you a significant amount of parts. Is that just me? I don't think they give you, I mean, I'm talking about the base game here, because as far as I can tell, they really don't give you a massive amount, and I'm going to have to unlock all of these, and it's just way too much hassle for what you're actually going to get from it, at least in my opinion. Obviously, you know, you can have a differing opinion if you want, but yeah, generally for me, I just don't think it's worth it. Okay, so yeah, let me actually just go to one of my own fiefs right here, probably this one, because this is on the very border, shall we say, of the territories, and we're going to just give them all of these. There we go. It's only going to give us 6 influence, but I'm not going to be using them anyway. It just doesn't make any sense for me to take Beastmen into my army, so we might as well donate them to somewhere that they might actually be a little bit useful. Bear in mind, though, that that is obviously going to make my army significantly less numerous, so I will be having to recruit more units, of course. But yeah, we've now started our battles against enemy vassals, which I'm actually super surprised that we did so well in. But we've also tested out some of our spells. I can probably say that I am not a big fan of the first spell that I used as a damaging spell. It just doesn't do that much damage. I don't know. I think it probably would do a lot more if I was using, you know, damage amplification gear and things like that. But I'm trying to be like a sort of walking tank kind of guy, and that's obviously not going to work if I'm running around in light wizard gear or something like that. But yeah, anyway, next time we're going to try and continue to go into the Vampire Counts territory, where hopefully, I mean, I have enough money now, so what I will do is I will go to the Magister, I will hand in this quest finally, and then we will be able to advance to adept level spells, and then I'll finally be able to get the 2 support spells that I really badly wanted, and it's really going to make a huge difference, or at least I think it is. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.